So first of all, congratulations on such a beautiful, heartfelt film. And I have to say, I think this is definitely award season material. I loved it.
Oh, thank you.
After decades as an animator, bringing such beloved characters to the screen, you're making your feature directorial debut. So what was it about this film that made you say, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to direct this one?
It was Fei. Um, I look for characters that believe the impossible is possible. Um, and in her was that same kind of a spark that I had seen in Ariel, Little Mermaid, except in this case, she was a girl not from under the sea, but in China, and she imagines going to the moon, which is totally impossible. How can a 12-year-old girl build a rocket to the moon? But she's so smart. She's got this math and science and physics. And Walt Disney always talked about the plausible impossible. And all we needed was that sense like, yeah, this girl's really good at this. She really could pull together all the parts to build a rocket to the moon. But to go to the dark side of the moon, to meet a goddess, she also believed in what others didn't believe. She could see what they couldn't see. These were the things that were so fascinating to me because I think I'm like that. I have a personal faith, a way of seeing life that goes beyond what you see on the surface. I really connected with that.
I heard you went on a trip to China for research, and that's at the heart of the story. So, what was the most memorable moment on that trip that truly became the DNA of this movie?
Well, there's a couple that play DNA moments, at least so many of them, but one of them was going there, and as we're walking around, our guide Lulu was leading us in this tiny little water town, which became the town that we animated. And I said, I wish I could go inside of one of these houses and see what a Chinese family lives like. And she said, "Oh, okay." I was like, "What? Wait!" I mean, it was. She just knocked at the door, and before anybody even said anything, she opened the door and said in Chinese, "There's some folks here from Hollywood. Can they come in and take a look at your house? They want to see how the Chinese live." And the door opened, and we walked in. I couldn't believe. I mean, if that happened here in Hollywood, I just don't think people would be opening the door. But we walked in and were welcomed. I ended up having dinners in a Chinese family's home with our team, and there was the grandparents and the parents and the kids, and the food was so good. And this became the bookends to our movie. It was going to be around a family table, a family dinner where Fei at the beginning was going to be in conflict with that family. And at the end, the family had not changed, but she did, and she was in harmony. This was going to be the arc of our story.
Oh, wow. No way. I can't believe that happened. That's amazing. It's definitely, you can see it in the grains of the movie. As director, what would you say is the key element that really makes this film so emotionally heartfelt? What's that one thing?
Well, I think Audrey Wells wrote a story um, about healing. As she said, all of her stories are about healing. And knowing that she would not live to see this movie animated, knowing that it was going to be, in many ways, a message to her daughter how to move on through the pain. Um, this is the core thing in this story that Fei had lost her mom and could not accept that. How do you accept change? How do you deal with pain and loss? Um, Children in the world are not immune to this. Nobody is, no adult, no child. We all go through it. This um, this challenge of life does not escape any of us. We all go through it. It's a universal thing. At one point, Fei says, "I just want life to go back the way it was." Um, Today, I mean, who of us would not say that in the middle of this pandemic and the struggles we go through? But life is not like that. You don't go back, you go forward. You keep moving forward. And that path for Fei leads into the chamber of exquisite sadness, where she has to wrestle with the loss and the pain, but it's exquisite sadness because on the other side is joy and love and learning to love somebody new and embracing change. This is the message that I want this film to have out in the world.
That's exactly the message that came across in the movie. It's so beautiful, so heartfelt, and I definitely want everyone to feel the same way as well. So thank you for bringing this movie to us and for everyone to watch it, especially during this time. Thank you. It's really beautiful.
Thank you, Mariska.